welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Alrighty, hello, welcome to Company of Heroes 2. Today I'm doing a solo YOLO cast. No Blake today, sadly, but there's kind of a reason why I'm doing the solo YOLO. Firstly, because I'm leaving the country in like 4 days, and so I want to get as much content as we can before I go away. I will also be casting with Blake tomorrow. However, also I'm having this weird problem now where, for some reason, when I put the audio device to my sound card, Company of Heroes just refuses to load. It just does not work anymore with my sound card, and I have no idea why. Last time we were going to cast Company of Heroes and we just couldn't, so we just ended up casting Dao2. So I think with Blake we'll just cast some 0 hour. So anyway, for me, you're stuck with me. But anyway, this is on Nexus, and we have Havoc LOL as the OKW and RoyalHants as the British. I actually have been playing a fair bit of Company of Heroes over the past month or so. The new patch, September preview, really good patch. It has so many solid changes, and so that kind of reinvigorated my interest. I also then went on a bit of a bender in Company of Heroes 1, and that was really fun as well. So, wow, that was some pretty lucky damage there on those Sturms. Oh man, this is a really good spot for the Sturms because of these shot blockers. A really good retreat here, get 2-on-1. No way can the Sturm Pioneers fight 2v1, especially when they're already wounded. They can try and stay around the wall, but in the meantime, RoyalHants can just cap the points. It's pretty annoying when your Sturms are that low. You can get the medical crates at least, but not quite yet anyway. Already has a Vickers on the field as well. Havoc going for the triple Volks and capping up the north. He does have Panzer Fusiliers, but didn't want to lock those ones in. Fallschirmjäger in this patch are insane, so probably just going to see the Fallschirmjäger. Oh wow, cheeky shoe mine. That's pretty bold too, because that means he can't get his... Oh no, gets shot by the Tommies. Because that means he can't get the medical crates. Well, he just cancels it, so he still can get the crates if he wants to, but... Anyway, that being said, he does have that early munitions point here, so those medical crates, even with that mine, wouldn't be too delayed. No, it doesn't get the sandbags down. The fourth squad of Volks Grenadiers, but no, going for a Raketten. The Universal Carrier has been revealed in the center.
Work to construct a new platoon command post is finished.
Man, I miss Blake. There's no cheeky bants right now. Because whenever, like, Blake's casting, we always just bro out. Because we always, like... We don't see each other really apart from when we're casting. So we're just, like, catching up and talking shit. It's kind of in these early game situations where it's like, man, there isn't even that much to talk about, is there? I actually started... Excuse me. I actually started writing... an essay about KO2. Yeah, so after I went and played a bunch of Company of Heroes 1, I was a lot more aware of the differences between the two games, which I kind of forgot about, or at least was reminded of them quite blatantly. The essay is called Why Blobbing is So Prominent in Company of Heroes 2. I think it's actually quite thoughtful. I kind of analyze like the differences between KO1 and KO2. And how it makes blobbing so prominent in KO2, like especially in team games. I haven't quite finished it yet. I've written out most of it. I need to fancify it and then eventually do a video of it. But it's sort of talking about like the way that the resource points work, like the way that you capture, the way that you can capture it in combat, for example. That's like a huge difference because it means that there's... Whoa, that Vickers could get a wipe on these Tommies. Oh my god, he does. Jeez. Holy god, now he's also gunning down... Yeah, rather than retreating his Raketten, he would rather talk about the garden there. Still, the Universal Carrier hasn't resulted in much map control. Double fuel there for Havoc. Has gone for the tier 1 though, so won't be punishing that with a quick Lukes. And a couple of engineer squads on the field. So having 2 engineers means he will have double AT grenades if there is a light vehicle like a Panzer II. Let's see if he goes for the flak half track.
The command vehicle has gone static.
Also, because he went for the universal carrier, means it's probably a little bit less likely to go for the AC. It is, well, actually, no, going for elite troops. Sorry, elite armor. And the 2-2, what is it? 2-2-3? I don't remember. Is it 2-2-1? 2-2-1. Yeah, close enough. I got two numbers out of 3. Okay. I didn't realize you actually had to build that. I just assumed it was like a call-in. Oh wow, these engineers trying to capture it. Not forced away by the Volks.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Wait, did he just cancel and rebuild that?
Anti-tank gun finished.
He restarted his progress on that, and I have no idea why. Huh. And now because of that, the 6-pounder's already on the field. Still, that being said, Havoc, because he lost a squad, so he's quite far behind in terms of like map presence at the moment. He's pop cap certainly, so we can see that now with the Vickers, double Tommies, double engineers. RoyalHants is running all over the map. Stim Pioneers just murdering the engineers. Could be a wipe here. Volks on the flank wasn't seen, but no. Retreats there at a good time. Scout cars enter the field. Radio set by adding signal relay and lockdown. Huh. Well, it increases health. Okay. Wait, health and armor? Increases health and armor. I never actually used this before. Now all he has to do is avoid the 6-pounder and the sappers. Well, that being said though, that universal carrier is doing some pretty good damage. It is shredding down that Vickers though, oh my god. And it could steal it here with the Volks. Oh, 6-pounder opens up though. Universal carrier can finish this one up, but the Vickers has been stolen. Tommies are still going to be firing at the scout car. They're chasing it down, but that thing is doing so much damage, and it does get out, it seems. Yep. Not enough damage there to finish it off. This Tommy squad also trying to finish it, but couldn't get within range. Really good play by Havoc. Just dove after that Vickers and stole it as well. That's definitely put him in a good spot now. Ooh, almost gunned it down on retreat. A little sloppy there from RoyalHants. Did not retreat the Vickers. He's taking damage for some time. Well, even that Raketin could have got wiped if he had a bit worse RNG. Or a bit better RNG for Hunts. Still, Hunts has great map control currently. Though without his Vickers, it'll be harder to hold. And goes for a sniper. That will help him to counter the stolen Vickers. Of course, he has to be careful of that scout car. Now, does he actually use this for the lockdown? Requires not. Mobilizing itself in exchange for increased production. Yeah, that's like the exact same as the Co-1. Although, I don't know if you can use that on like a munitions point, like an Opel truck, or if it's only like a strap. I guess it's munis or fuel. Yeah, probably the Opel. Sniper on the north. Unlucky there, that's where the scout car's going. Okay, can he crush the wall? No, it doesn't look like he can. Oh, the sniper fires a shot at the scout car. Bold move. There's nothing to retreat into. Where's the AT gun? There it is. So that can rotate. Yeah, that seems like a weird shot because it means he had to retreat the sniper. He should have had the AT gun covering it. I like the cheeky poke, but the fact that he had to retreat means he loses a bit of map presence there. If the AT gun was already in position, he wouldn't have had to hard retreat. He could have just walked away into it. Maybe even baited him into it. So mines are very good on this map because you have a lot of predictable corners, or at least until tanks show up, because then the tanks start to crush all the walls and then it gets a bit harder to use mines. Oh, 6-pounder gets one shot, maybe a second one. The shot blocker there, will that prevent him? No, well, lucky miss. And that Raketin has been constantly getting gunned down over and over again.
We're losing a capture point.
Engineer's almost going down. Could be a wipe on the Vickers as well. Fire grenade, Vickers, and the Volks are all firing. Yeah, it does go down. Can steal this one because they're suppressed, the Tommies, so they can't recapture that one. They also can't do a lot of damage. Still in the fire and also in the universal carrier, and the sniper's a little bit out of position. Can't fire at the Vickers. Looking for a wipe though. Oh, doesn't get it. Must have just run out of sight range. Vickers gets gunned down, so will be recruited now by the infantry section. Yeah, sometimes those risky dives are just worth taking the risk, because that was pretty close to getting out. A lot of RNG in those situations, because like depends on who drops it first. Anyway, the 6-pounder is still on the field, and that makes it very hard to use the scout car. What did it actually get a bit? Defensive smoke, sighting, accuracy, mobility. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Receives less damage. Can build Regal anti-tank mines. Those are the ones that perma-stun or like immobilize until it gets repaired, right? Like the half-track ones. Regal. Wow, that's really strong. Must be pretty hard to get that veterancy, I assume, though. Because as soon as there's like a Cromwell, it's going to be really hard to keep it alive. Still mostly map control in the hands of RoyalHants. Hasn't gone for his tier 3 just yet. Given his pretty good lead, he could even go straight for a Comet. He doesn't really need a Cromwell. Infantry support gun also going to help against the enemy Vickers of the 6-pounder. This is a map where support, like artillery, is pretty good, mortars and such, because you can leave them here and they're basically always going to be within range of stuff. Was it the Arty? It is, nice.
The static post is now in operation.
The sniper must have used that one. Yeah, it was the sniper. Didn't have any pyrotechnic supplies on those Tommies. So he doesn't get any kills with it, but the building will get blown up.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Oh, yeah, there it is. So can't occupy that one anymore. That's going to make it much harder to use the Vickers on the north side of the map, the Vickers for Havoc. Those Vickers in the buildings do get extra range and such. Whereas this building is still here, which can be good also for the left side, but it's just going to be a bit more risky to get it in there. But this is very safe. Whoa, scout car going in. Diving after the snipers. He's also flanked the 6-pounders. Could just go for the universal carrier. It's already low. 6-pounder is rotating. And there's also Volks on the chase, as is all the Raketin. Raketin just loves throwing himself in the meat grinder. Okay, I like this play with the AT gun where there's no way that it'll actually get another shot off, so you just try to retreat backwards. Well, I say that. Oh my god, Caster's Curse. Gets one shot off before going down to the Volks.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
What I was going to say, I guess what I did say, is in those situations where you know that your opponent is just going to continuously circle it,
Enemy causing trouble.
and
Trying to take
the more
one of
you
our points.
reface, your opponent is going to keep flanking it, and so you're better off just walking it back into the base, because even if it dies, it means that it's just easier to recruit because it's closer to your base, rather than it being over here. It dies over here, and it basically prevents your opponent from stealing it, especially if you're able to get within range of like a base MG. Because there were Volks nearby, so I think they were a bit too low, but having that stolen would have been really bad news, so... Yeah, it's like not underestimating your opponent. You go, you know what, you're a good player, you probably won't let me just rotate my AT gun, I'm just going to walk it away. If it dies, but at least it dies closer to my base. Bit of a sloppy play with the sniper, has to retreat that one. Oh, getting some crutches on the Cromwell, retreats it just in time before the Volks went down. Another Arty flares. Well, locking in the artillery regiment and actually using the concentration barrage. Wow, almost getting the Sturms. Cromwell looking pretty close to the scout car, but quick 2 Fausts here. 1 Faust connects, gonna be... Nope, cancelled it, okay. I think he only saw that there wasn't double Volks, so going for the double, or the single Faust. It wasn't worth it. I don't know. I think it is worth it because you get the veterancy from it. Hey, hit vet 3 from that. Anyway, has the Valentine on the field as well. Ooh, double Faust here. No follow-up, but still. You know, decent veterancy, kind of worth doing. Immobilize it as well. Or rather, damage engine it. Keep it immobile. Ooh. Dives just past that Ricketten.
Enemy threatening a capture point. Ready to bombard
Has
with
to
the base
retreat it.
howitzers.
Didn't want to stick it around there with the engineers nearby because they could have stolen that one if you got a lucky Cromwell shot. Speedy Cromwell avoiding the Ricketten shots. Doesn't have a Panzer headquarters. Wow. Yeah, his fuel isn't looking too good. Oh, no, sorry, no. Yeah, okay, there we go. There's the Panzer headquarters. I was going to say, like, how does he have that? How does he not have that much fuel? Has the Panzer headquarters, so he could go for a Sturm Tiger, but with the Cromwell rolling around, especially with the Valentine, he's going to need a tank of his own. So a Panther would be the best call here, I think. Panther into a Sturm Tiger, and then it'd be a pretty good spot. So like I was saying earlier, with the artillery being useful, this is also the same for Sturm Tiger being really good here, because you've got to expect your opponent's going to leave Vickers, AT gun, just stuff around the middle of the map here. We may even see a Sexton at some point. Especially if we see, like, again, this, multiple support weapons. There's 2 racks, there's a Vickers, there's also an ISG somewhere. Oh, up there, so... Anyway. Concentration barrage being used. Maybe he won't bother with the Sexton, just keep using these barrages. Vickers just staying where it is.
A capture point is being overrun.
Oh, Panzer IV being built. Wow, really lucky shot. Oh, I think they were clumped, like, underneath the sandbags rather than behind it.
Soldier can be added to infantry squads now.
Anyway, smoking off with the scout car. I like that one. Preventing the Cromwell from getting another shot on retreat, potentially wiping those Sturms. So, better safe than sorry. Didn't think about using attack ground in that situation. Kind of hard against retreating squads anyway, to get an attack ground through smoke. There's a P4 being built. Will be a bit better against infantry squads. Maybe he's kind of annoyed by the sniper. Wants to deal with that.
Contact! It's a bit touch and go. Base howitzers ready to plaster a target.
I hear more flares. Well, that's the early warning. Gets full vision on the map using... I hear more arty. Or am I crazy? Nope, okay.
Units can now use Pied launchers to take on armor, and Bren guns for extra fire.
The weapon rack's good, because he has plenty of munitions. He's had this munitions point the whole game. Valentine hasn't done much, though. 0 kills. But at least where it is now, he's got a Valentine at the south, he's got a Cromwell near the north, so very good field control. These Rickettens, kind of hard to use them around these shot blockers because you just never know what's raiding around the corner. But it will be a Panzer IV in response. Going to the south is clever because that was where the Valentine was. Valentine definitely can't fight the P4 toe-to-toe with a Cromwell can. At least it kind of can.
Using a capture point.
Sandbags didn't protect the Sturms. Let's see if they protect these Volks. Okay, P4's rotating. Where is the 8? Oh, well, a lucky wipe on the Vickers. Clumped up behind that tree. Silly British player using cover with his support weapon. Big mistake. They're trying to blow it up. It's a good play. 6-pounder, though, not too happy about that one. And the Tommies are looking for the recap. Should be able to get this one. Misses 2 shots in a row, I think, so we'll get recaptured. That was actually in my essay about why blobbing is a problem. Is that happens. So it means that you can't use yellow cover with support weapons. So it means that you have to have like weapons out in the open, which means that you can blow up to them and just kill them really easily. Unless there's lucky heavy cover, but you know, there isn't in that situation.
We have 300 points remaining.
If you could actually use yellow cover, like, it would be harder to blob up to MGs. Anyway, sneak peek, one of my points in my rant. I've been meaning to rant about this for a while, also like about snipers and how they're an awful unit from a game design perspective. I just kind of never did until like I got the inspiration by witnessing it firsthand. Okay, this could be a dead Valentine. Damaged engine. Raken's gonna retreat. Where's the P4 for the follow-up? Rotating down the entire map. Cromwell's here, but it's also wounded. And that being said, it's more than 3 shots health, so it effectively is full health against the P4. And the AT gun is kind of nearby. So the Valentine should be okay to back out of this one. Also has the smoke. Wow. I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was, that was sick. Had the universal carrier in the front, so the P4 wasted a shot. Didn't think to use hold fire. Not really worth it. This is an arty barrage, must be coming from the command panzer. Wow, okay. I'm a little bit confused by that. Maybe trying to like hit the Cromwell when it backed off. I don't know if that can stun. Probably not. This universal carrier though has done some sick work here. Vet 3 improves the crew repairability. These things normally die at this point, or before this point I should say. 15 kills. Should give him pretty good vision too. Wow. Is that all from the universal carry? That's pretty good. Oh, flanked on the 6-pounder. It's gonna go down here, but there's plenty of squads to recapture that one. Another Panzer Commander barrage. Is he barraging the AT gun? It has been decrewed now. Oh no, that's the British artillery, but also the Axis artillery as well. It's a bit of an artillery party. And yeah, he didn't quite arty the 6-pounder. I think he was trying to arty the Cromwell to zone it away. Just trying to blow up the 6-pounder, I think, would have been the best move there, but does now have a Firefly on the field. P4 is going to be even harder to use. 3 tanks against the 1. 3 tanks and a Bren carrier / Vickers carrier. It's going to be really good against the Obersoldaten. Keep it alive. So now what does Havoc go for here? This is where he has to choose. Looks like he's actually going for a King Tiger. Well, maybe it's for a Stuka. I don't know, because he can't go King Tiger and the Sturm Tiger. He kind of has to choose. Whereas he can, of course, go Stuka and King Tiger if he has the pop cap, which at the moment he wouldn't, because he has 4 squads, 4 support weapons as well. Actually, 5 squads, including the Sturm. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff on the field. Uh-oh. Speedy universal carrier gets out. What does the star mean? Oh, suppressing fire. Wow, he even can suppress for 10 munitions. That is cheap. That's going to be great versus the overs, if not just the main gun damage. I hear more Raketen fire. Looking for a Faust, perhaps? Oh, no. Oh, no Faust. Okay. Must have been watching the middle of the map because there's a bit of a battle here. Was it the Vickers that went down again? Yeah, Vickers is gone. Whoa, this P4's got to be careful. Firefly 6-pounder and the Cromwell. This could go down here. Another arty barrage from the P4. Down goes the P4. Let's see if... Oh, loses the Volks as well. Gets a Faust off, but no biggie. It's actually a very accurate artillery, so it's very good at just wiping AT guns, but that's about it. Given how accurate it is, it's not so good for killing tanks. I think it's all he's really trying to do with it. Okay, this could be a dead Cromwell though. No, it does go out. Important there that he didn't try to just reverse. because then he would have rotated and kind of derped out for ages, and then would just die to another rack shot. Instead, he went north, just kept going forwards, so that was a really good micro there. Oh, goes for a Yags, yeah, because he lost his P4, so he's a little sad now. We will have, I guess, the free repairs, free quotation marks, because they don't cost pop cap, so free. Free in the resource that matters the most, generally. Assuming that you don't lose squads. Hero, Universal Carrier. Suppression fire once again. Ooh, that's only a stun grenade, okay. Now he could Faust this one. It's the suppression, doesn't seem to last that long though. Oh, there it is. Oh, the scout guard wants to dive in, but he's gonna dive into a Firefly. Firefly facing the wrong direction though. So that rotation's gonna take a long time to actually acquire. It needs to have it facing the right direction. Could have maybe fired a shot at the scout card during that. More arty. What? Oh, okay. So apparently the early warning, it like plays one arty barrage sound effect, like the flares. Because I swear it plays that little like the sound effect that sounds like arty's coming, but only plays it once. Now I kind of hope RoyalHants goes for a Sexton just because it'd be fun to cast, but I sort of don't think he will.
Section of Tommy's has been trained. We've 100 points left.
Oh wow, yeah, the VPs are getting low. Ooh, cloaked rack. Good shot on the Vickers though. Does go down to the MGs. From Valentine in a bit of trouble. Firefly though moving in to keep the Valentine alive. Missed shot from the Yag. Also a Raketin opening up on this Firefly. Damaged engine from the Sappers. Oh, this Firefly's got to be careful. Other rack also opening up. Yagged fires. Can there be one more shot? There is. Firefly goes down.
The enemy have destroyed one of our
Yag survives. VP also ticking down. Oh no, they've been recaptured briefly, so a bit of a respite there for RoyalHants. Still has the swag, Universal Carrier. He's gonna go in the building. Okay, so can't get suppressed in the building, so that's kind of clever. Vickers still hasn't been recrewed. RoyalHants hasn't gone for a... What do you even call that? Tactics, battle, not a doctrine. Not a... I don't know. Tactics, isn't it? It's like hammer, tactics, now with specialization. That's what it is. Specialization, anvil or hammer. These Obers have not been able to vet up because of that universal carrier. Oh my god, this scout car. What a beast. Those Tommies just got murdered. Wow. That Vet 3 giving it even extra accuracy. No kidding. Couldn't steal the Bren, unfortunately. The Sturms taking up, having both of their weapon slots taken up by those STGs. The Obers could have get it though, but of course they're in the base. Same with the Sturms. Jeez, that thing is insane. And it has smoke, and it probably has like a billion scout range. Or sight range. It's another Cromwell by the looks of it. Well, must be because he doesn't have any tactics. Yeah, so another Cromwell. Only has a Yagged for armor, does Havoc, so he can just swarm that. Valentine, 2 Cromwells, just go for a big flank. Using another Firefly would be kind of tricky against 2 Cloaked Racks and a Yagged. Well, the triple cap is now on against Havoc. He has plenty of VPs left, however. RoyalHants losing a vetted squad, so he's got 1 vet 3 squad, but aside from that, his veterancy is pretty low, and oh, the Bren hasn't been taken, so the Obers can steal that one.
The enemy have 300 points.
Locking this point down. Okay, so we can lock down anything. I kind of like that, knowing that, you know what, it's probably just going to die at this point.
Trying to take one of our points.
Knowing when to cash in and just letting it get the bonus resources.
Attacking our flanks.
Uh-oh.
Let me off.
Yeah, meanwhile, just having a bit of a free-for-all here.
Under fire. Cheeky little blighters.
It's fired a lot of shots against both of these tanks, managing to avoid the 6-pounder for now. Also, again, knowing when to cash in and just going, you know what? Now is probably a good time to not stay around any longer as the 6-pounder sets up. It's a good game sense. That being said, big flank. No, not committing to it, just going for some damage on the Panzer headquarters. Probably the first time it was revealed, so didn't even know it was there, I assume. Otherwise, we may have seen it being artied. Yeah, rotating up now. Good preemptive retreat. Wait, did you cancel that Cromwell?
Waiting orders.
Yeah, he must have cancelled it. I don't think he just lost one.
Enemy
I don't see any wrecks down here. Oh, Yag's found the universal carrier. Oh, it does go down. Going for a trench is quite clever, but there's no anti-tank. Doesn't need it, however. There's only a Yagd, and that won't do anything when they're in the trench, even out in the open. There's, you know, a pretty low chance it'll do anything.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
It's rare you see trenches, so it's cool to actually see them. Just has to make sure it doesn't get wiped by that bundle. That would not be so good. Oh no, dodge it. Oh no. Okay, actually, that's even cleverer, a frangible. No way you can dodge a frangible. Well, that was a pretty anticlimactic trench. Caster's Curse didn't do anything at all.
Gun you ordered is ready.
And now it's going to get shredded by the Oba LMG, so it has to retreat. Or actually, just soft retreating and healing is clever.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Plenty of resources for Havoc, and he has all 3 buildings. King Tiger is an option. Double 6-pounder though. Might be a good idea just playing for the top and the south. Because then the King Tiger doesn't have to be in the open. It can kind of just stay behind something, behind the shop blockers. That being said, this is a little bit open now, which is better for the British player because better field of fire for the 6-pounders, for the Firefly if it gets rebuilt, which it probably will when the King Tiger shows up. Another trench. Not discouraged from the trenches. If he dodged it early, though, would have been fine. Oh, he's diving after this scout car. He must have seen the yellow on the minimap. Maybe even from the early warning. Oh no. The hero scout car's gonna die. He gets rid of lockdown now, but it's gonna be a little bit too late here. You can use the smoke. Nope, just letting it die. Oh, okay, well there's the smoke, but attack round through that one. Doesn't actually connect, and the Cromwell backs off. Wow, letting it escape. Doesn't want to dive that one, doesn't know what's waiting around the corner.
Ready for action.
Whoa, missed a bit of a battle here. Yeah, that's probably why the scout car was late to retreat. Obers, though, go down. Whoa, also,
We've lost a Cromwell tank.
I don't know where the Cromwell died. Where was that? Oh, that, okay, right in front of the screen. It didn't like go all burny and black, so I just assumed that was alive still. Yagged in the Raketten must have taken that one down. So a bit of an action-packed sequence all of a sudden. King Tiger's been deployed. It's also, the 6-pounder is weak, and wounded AT guns against heavy tanks in this patch is just suicidal. They get wiped so easily at full health. When they're already wounded, it's only a matter of seconds until they get one shot, basically. Probably the only thing I don't like about this patch is I feel like heavy tanks across the board are a bit too powerful. they're just so reliable against infantry, which means that AT guns just suck balls against them. Before you could get lucky one-shots, like lucky wipes, but it was a risk because you couldn't rely on it. But now you can rely on the King Tiger just murdering AT guns. Like this. Let's see if he just dives it and kills it immediately. I hope he does. Casts his curse. Okay, not quite immediately. 2 shots maybe. Yeah, there we go. See? So like that, there was no risk there, right? Because even though he was taking damage from his AT guns, he knew that he was going to kill that in 2 or 3 shots. That being said, they took a lot of damage, and that will keep him off the field for some time. Doesn't have those mechanics online, and couldn't actually destroy the AT gun either. Just was recrewed. If it was even able to stay longer and blow it up, that would have been really good, but didn't achieve too much at the moment. So yeah, that's why you got to keep it. Make sure it's at full health.
A capture point is being overrun.
If it was at full health, it wouldn't do that. Ooh, Cromwell down here. He only has 1 Sturm score, but it is Vet 4, so he still should be able to repair this pretty quickly. Is that a Panzer Commander Artie? Yes, it is. It just walks out of it. Plenty of munitions in the bank, so delaying the capture, I suppose. It really needs to repair this King Tiger now. Again, another wound. Oh, he's actually healing it, I think. Nope. Wants to capture it instead. The RoyalHants has a lot of resources here. Has gone for the hammer. Or, yes, the hammer. Whoa, taking a lot of damage. Oh, Cromwell, what are you doing? Lucky miss on the Raketin. This squad, it's pretty spaced out, so it should be fine. But if it's clumped up, the King Tiger can kill it very easily. Whoa, okay, ISG also. Cheeky grenade. What are they called? The gammon bombs. Delayed their retreat though. Couldn't retreat the Volks until the gammon blew up. Also a good restraint from Havoc. Didn't just mash retreat immediately. Oh, flanks the Raketin, but no, forced off by the Volks. And it's Ober's being built. Okay, despite having fuel for a tank. There's a Comet being built now. King Tiger has been fully repaired very, very quickly. Oh, that Vet 1 AT gun has not been healed. Oh, look at that. Clumped up. Probably behind cover, technically, where he is. Oh, and that's a good arty barrage, though. We'll get... using rapid move. Nice. Really good use of that ability. Dodges that one pretty easily. Gammon bomb! Up, retreats. Oh my god, please heal your AT gun! Ah, it's so low.
There's a Comet tank ready to go.
Would it be worth getting a forward assembly, like over here, and just reinforcing from it? Might not be a bad idea. Okay, Ober's in a fantastic spot behind the heavy cover. It's a Comet up north. What's this building? Pretty low building, could lose the Vickers, or is that the Vickers or a MG34? I don't know. Either way, it's gonna die pretty soon. MG34. Oh, it's a mine! Okay, survives 1 shot. Will not survive another. Yeah, down it goes. Trying to focus down the Tommies. They get out. Yeah, let's see that. That's why having this building alive is good. That being said, the building doesn't actually cover the VP, but anyway. Okay, Volk's going pretty aggressive here. The Vickers had to retreat from the center. Comet and both the Cromwell, both of these tanks have damaged engine. King Tiger's on the hunt. Yag Tiger also on the hunt, living up to its name there. Oh no, the mine! The mine detonates the Yag Panzer IV. The Valentine trying to finish it off, as does the 6th AT gun. Also, I think I was totally wrong. It's Jaeger that's Hunter, not Jagd. I don't know what Jagd means. Something, something. Let me know in the comments. There must have been a shoe mine, because it didn't detonate until there was the shot from the whatever tank shot at it. Oh, goes the Valentine down as well. Immediately murders that AT gun with the King Tiger. So, at least I get to be validated. Sync error detected. That means the replay is over. That was actually a nice game. Man. Pretty unlucky with the comet hitting a mine. I don't know what happened to this one. Maybe this is it must have been a Panzerfaust. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any particular interesting insight here. Losing the Firefly, I think, was the crucial there in the end, because then without the Firefly, it was a bit harder to keep that King Tiger at bay. Whereas if he had like the double 6-pounder plus the Firefly, then he could use the tulips, and the King Tiger would have to be like really careful, really cautious. But the King Tiger just, once it hit the field, it went around murdering stuff and wiping things. So that's my insight, my analysis. And yeah, it wasn't really a good late game mix with this commander. These artilleries didn't really do anything. Neither did the Panzer Commander arties either. They were pretty bad too. Coordinated barrage. It's a good ability. I like it. It just didn't do anything in this game. Like, it's good for the drive-by AT gun, where like you're diving after an Su-85, and then like while you're diving, you also arty barrage a Zis gun, and then it either dies or it moves. So it just gives you a lot more flexibility to just play aggressively. Anyway, GG, well played. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the cast. Sorry I am not Blake. I will try to be more Blake next time. Yeah, well, anyway, see you next time.